good morning to our RANsquawk listeners. Hope you all had a great evening. In terms of the Bank of Japan and their interest rate decision, no changes were made as expected, keeping their policy on hold for the time being. However, focus toward the European session has been continually based upon that of the situation of negotiations on the PSI for Greece. Today does mark the second day of the European Finance Minister meetings in Brussels, so we continue to monitor the newswires intently for any updates on those talks. As such, then, we've seen some high volatility in the euro currency. However, the major euro-dollar pair has continued to home in on that 130.00 level, which is a large touted size option expiry for today's 10 a.m. New York cut. In terms of economic data, particular emphasis toward the German manufacturing and service PMIs, which have come out this morning, much higher than street expectations, and as such as to the pan-European number, despite the slightly softer manufacturing data coming out of France. And in terms of other things, we have seen the Bund reverse the initial dip we saw on that German data release, as the equity markets do trade down in negative territory across Europe. Financials paring back some of the gains that were seen yesterday. French banks are seen particularly soft. That comes after overnight S&P did downgrade some of them, given the fact to move in line with the change on their sovereign rating we saw around 2 weeks ago from Standard & Poor's. Elsewhere, Siemens as well, they're down around the 3% level after missing on their quarterly net and sales pre-market, as well as KPN weighing on the telecom sectors, having also missed street estimates with their latest earnings update. Moving forward then, in terms of the US session, relatively quiet in terms of the calendar for data. However, we do either release the Richmond Fed Manufacturing Index. Corporate earnings really does pick up pace today. It sees the likes of Johnson & Johnson and McDonald's, two of the bigger names reporting pre-market, with Apple and Yahoo to report after the closing bell on the street. And one final thing just to recap on, we did see in European fixed income today another shorter dated T-bill auction sale out of the Spanish agency. They sold 3 and 6 month debt for a total combined amount of around 2.5 billion euros. That does put it at the top end of analysts' indicative range. Cover ratios on both issues were also much higher than what we've seen on prior auctions, and on an average basis they're still seeing a solid demand with a considerable drop as well in the average yield paid. That concludes the opening wrap here in London, so for the time being, have yourself a great trading day.